Let's get real.
Hi guys, welcome back to Real Talk with Menashe. I am your host, Menashe Chinyanganya. If you are new, welcome. Where have I been? Glad you asked. First of all, before I even get into it, I really do have a bone to pick with you. I'm actually quite upset. Why on earth did you allow me to call September the September Scaries? Like, it's not even funny. Like, I'm laughing, but nothing's funny about it. Why didn't any of you, not even one person, say, that's not a good idea? You want to know why? Because I remember when I said it, I was like, I like the way it sounds, like September Scaries. I was like, nothing's really scary about it. I don't know if I spoke it into existence. I don't know what was going on, but September was a very, very scary month for me. Okay. And I just wish someone had been like, yo, Menashe, I don't know if that's a really good idea for you to be calling something, the September Scaries. It was scare after scare after scare. Thank God September is over, honestly. Like, I've had it. Where have I been? Okay, here we go. So essentially, I'm pretty sure I told you guys that in the summer, my car started having problems. Now, I've had my car for like 9 years, so a little problem here or there. Like, I haven't really started having problems until this summer. Very inconvenient, very not excited for it, but I was like, okay, I'll deal with it. Mind you, at the time, my car wouldn't even start. Like, I got stuck in a Chipotle parking lot because my car would not start. So obviously, this is something I had to take care of. And I told you guys that every time my car doesn't work and I'm stranded, I feel like I'm in a prison, because I use my car every single day. And so it was a rough, I don't know, probably took 2 weeks for them to figure it out. It got towed left, right, and center. The story goes on and on. But it got fixed. It eventually got fixed. And I was good to go. And I was like, okay, like, I've spent a lot of money, but the car is fixed. We're good. Yeah. So here we are in the month of September. I'm driving my car. I think I got everything fixed in like end of July, early August. I'm driving my car. The check engine light turns on. I remember. I start laughing. I literally start laughing because I'm like, this is not real life. This is not real life. Now, they didn't just go in the summer and fix like one thing. I got multiple things fixed, right? So this car should not be having any types of issues. So I see the light turn on and I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This is kind of unexpected. Okay, let's not fret yet. So I bring it back to the people that had fixed my car in the summer. You guys, I got quoted something so ridiculous. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know much about cars, okay? But through this process of my car getting towed left, right, and center, I had it towed to the dealership that I actually, like, not that I got the car from, but, like, the actual dealership. Because before my car started having problems, I used to go to the dealership for, like, oil changes every, like, 6 months, 3 months, whenever they tell you to go. And I would always follow it to a T. Like, I'm one, like, if you tell me there's an issue, like, I'm going to solve the problem. I'm going to do what you tell me to do. But don't take advantage of me. And I started to realize this summer that, like, and I guess I always knew deep down that, like, it is a sales job too. Like, I don't know. I just thought there was a level of honesty. I think they looked at me and just thought I was dumb. And I really learned this summer, like, you can't trust everybody, whatever. And I felt that Chevrolet, because my car is a Chevy, I never ended up getting it fixed by them because they were trying to tell me I needed a brand new engine. Mind you, I get it towed somewhere else. They're like, you don't need a brand new engine at all. I was like, oh, thank God. Because first of all, this is a paid off car. It's 9 years old. Who's putting a new engine in this thing? Not me. So it was just kind of ridiculous. And so they were trying to charge me thousands and thousands and thousands for something that I didn't even need. Okay. So I just learned a lot this summer. But here I am back at the same place that I fixed my car the last time, which I just was like so thankful for. And they're quoting me, you guys, some ridiculous number. Like, I'm pretty sure over $3,000. Mind you, I was at the same place not even 2 months ago, and you fixed other issues. Now you're trying to tell me I have all these issues for $3,000? 3,000? Oh my gosh, like, be so for real. So I was like, oh, okay. Now this time my car was starting. It was moving fine. It actually wasn't causing any issue, like, driving wise, but I get paranoid, like, when it's a check engine light. And I have OnStar, which OnStar in my car, you can click it and they'll run a diagnostic in your car to let you know, like, what they think is the issue, but you obviously have to take it to a place to get, like, properly looked at, properly diagnosed. So they're telling me this issue and they're like, you do need to get this looked at pretty quickly. This isn't something you can just kind of like ignore. And I'm like, oh, okay. So they've quoted me something insane and I'm just like, I'm not paying this. Like, and also the thing was too, I was just getting the vibe that, like, I was getting taken advantage of. I don't know. Something about it, it just was not giving what it should be giving, you know? And so then I was like, you know what? No. I had a breakdown and I was like, this is crazy. And then, you know what? I was like, whew, did a little prayer. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do anything today. I'm not going to tell them to fix the car. I'm not going to tell them to touch it. Nothing. I'm going to sleep on it. And the next day, I'm going to call around to some other places. I'm going to let them know what they've told me and see if it checks out. And then we'll go from there. Okay. So the next day I call and I called like maybe 2-3 places and they're all telling me like, yeah, something sounds off. Like it does sound a little weird. We obviously would need to look at the car ourselves, yada, 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 but they're all telling me something is off. And I ended up going to a new place because when I spoke to them on the phone, the guy specifically said like, yeah, if they're being honest, he said something about honesty in the conversation just by himself. And that for me was like, okay, like this is the guy I want to take my car to because he's just like, just matter of fact, seems like a very like honest person, not because he just said the word honest, but I just got the vibe that he wanted to figure out what the problem was and not so much like charge me an arm and a leg. So I was like, okay. I told them, don't even touch my car. I'm picking my car up. I picked my car up and then I brought it to the new place on Monday. Funny enough, you know when you sometimes go to these like car places and there's like a million different like places you can go to, they're like all on the same street. Well, the new place I took it to was right next to the place my car was. So I was like, oh, okay, interesting. They take a look at my car. They're like, okay, we see the car. They wanted pretty much for them to fix everything they need to fix. It was like half. And I was like, okay. Because mind you, the things that were wrong with my car needed to be addressed, but not for the price that they were trying to charge me. So they looked at it. The guy looked at it. He's like, this is how much it's going to be. Matter of fact, da, 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 da. I was like, okay, let's do it. Now, do I want to be spending more money on my car? Absolutely not. But it's where we're at right now. I don't want to get a brand new car at this moment. My car's paid off. My car doesn't have that many miles on it for the amount of years I've had it. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. So they take my car. They look at it. They fix it. I'm out the door. Now, I went to go pick up my car maybe 15 minutes before they closed. And I'm driving. Here I am. I'm like, oh, this car needs gas. Let me go to the gas station. Y'all, I wasn't even 2 miles away from the place I just picked it up at. The engine light turns on. The light turns back on. No, because it's like, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Like, mind you, I just slid my card. I just paid for everything you said you've done. I just left the lot. The lights turned back on. I called them and I was like, yeah. And he's so nice too when he picks up the phone. He's like, yellow. And I'm like, no, save it. Because I was just there. This light just turned on. And he was like, okay, you want to bring it back tomorrow? I said, no, I'm going to bring it back right now. I'm going to bring it back right now. And he was like, okay, yeah, bring it over right now. So I bring it back and he was like, this is so odd, da 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 da. But I told you it was going to be X amount of money to fix it. So you won't pay another dime, even if it's more than what I thought or whatever. It's completely on me. This is where the honesty kicks in. I'm so grateful to God that I ended up going with this guy. It's like a family run. It's going to be mom and pop vibes, but it's like a family run. It's him and his wife. And they run it and they have a lot of like mechanics and stuff that help them. But the guy that I was speaking to that had like quoted me and everything's the same guy. He doesn't only work in the front. He also works on the car and all that. So I'm just really grateful that like I went to them, because imagine if I'd gone to the place I went to in the summer. Remember, they were trying to charge me an arm and a leg the second time around. I drive my car, the check engine light turns on. They're the type of people I feel after this last time, I would have pulled back up and they would have been like, oh, something else appeared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like they would have tried to play me. But this guy was like, oh, no, something's off. I don't know what's going on. We drove this car. The light wasn't on. But like, let me have the car, whatever. So they ended up having the car for another 2 days, I think, because I tried to pick it up on Wednesday and I got it on Friday. And he finally figured out what it was. They looked at it all Wednesday. They looked at it all Thursday. And they were able to figure it out. So I got the car back. It was just a lot, guys. It was really a lot. And that's not even the reason that September was so scary. It's just one of the many reasons it was scary. Another reason it was scary is because I have a list because I didn't want to forget one thing. Okay, so I had the car. I got sick. I got sick again. The thing is, I typically get sick like twice a year, and I don't know what it is, but I just got sick randomly out of nowhere. So that wasn't fun. And then on top of that, I got caught outside in a torrential downpour. And I added that to the list because it's like, that's really inconvenient. Here's the story. So here I am about to walk into the gym, and it's about like, I don't know. Because sometimes, like, the parking lot's huge, and like I tend to park in the back or whatever, and it didn't look like it was gonna storm when I got out of the car. I'll tell you that much. But then as I start walking in, 2-3 minutes in, it starts raining, but not just a light drizzle, torrential downpour. It was like, do I keep walking to the gym because now I'm irritated? But also the amount of time it would take to walk back, it's like, let me just walk in the gym. But now it's like my shoes are like soaked in the inside. I don't know. It was just giving like, are you serious? Like, are you serious right now? What did I do? I went inside the gym and I sucked it up, but it was just really inconvenient. Like I walk into the gym and like, I'm like, squeak, 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 like just trying. It was just like a lot. I'm sorry. Like, it was a lot. I understand these are first world problems. Like, I get it. But at the same time, they were my problems. What else? Oh, my skin broke out. Like, I could not catch a break. I couldn't catch a break this entire September. And so, long story short, I'm very happy it's over. Like the song says, wake me up when September ends. I'm glad that it's over. I'm not going to miss it. September tends to be a really lovely month. I'm not really sure what happened this month, but I just blame the fact that I called it September Scaries. And so there, I blame you, because it's like, I said that, I understand, I'll take responsibility for that, but it was on you guys to be like, that was really dumb. And no one did that. No one said a word. And so I don't know. It's just kind of crazy that you guys would let me take that L like that. I forgive you, but let's not let it happen again. Next time I say something crazy, just check me on it. Like, it's just like, maybe that's not a good idea. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, anyway, that's why I've been MIA. That's why there's just been a lot going on in my life. And it's been a bit overwhelming for me, to be honest. And I think I dealt with it the best I could. That's not even everything. That's just everything I'm going to name. And so I just decided that I needed a minute, but I'm back and I'm excited to be back. I'm so excited that it's October. It's October 1st specifically. And it just felt like a perfect time to come back because October is going to be a great month. We're not even naming it. It's just going to be October. It already has a name, October. And so we're not trying to make it quirky or fun. Really excited for this month and everything it's going to bring. So now that I've been able to place blame on you guys, I'm ready to get into today's main topic. Today I want to talk about how closure is a scam. Closure is a scam. I don't know where this narrative came from where people are like, oh, I need closure to move on. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I'd like to end that narrative today. Closure is a scam. You absolutely don't need it. I don't know why we think we do. I really don't know why. I've been in that position too, by the way. So I'm speaking from experience of just talking about closure. Closure, smosure, you don't need closure. It's a scam. First of all, closure is not going to come from the same place as the hurt. Okay? Closure is not going to come from the same place as the hurt. There's no reason to be trying to get closure from the same person that hurt you. What do you want to rehash facts? Get a play-by-play on what went wrong? Like, I know in theory it sounds like hearing it would be a good idea, but it's absolutely not a good idea. Like, them telling you that they cheated on you and like whatever doesn't make it better. It actually makes it worse. I don't understand why like people are like, no, I need the closure. I need to know why they did this. They're a horrible person. They're scummy. Like you don't need to know. You don't need the details. What are we trying to re-injure, re-hurt ourselves? Like, no, absolutely not. You do not need a play-by-play at all. You do not need closure. Please. Let's kill this today. You do not need closure. You don't need closure in a relationship. You don't need closure in a friendship. Now, I'm talking about people that did you dirty. Okay? Obviously. Some people, it's like, you know, we maybe you were in a good relationship and like they moved and you don't want to do long distance, or like you just realized early on that you guys see things differently. Whatever. I'm not talking about that. Okay. I'm talking about people that were supposed to care for you, love you, respect you, and they couldn't do that. Yeah. You don't need closure from those people. Like you absolutely don't. And you were speaking to someone who has tried the closure thing. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, I've tried the closure thing like years ago in the past. I was like, this was like a situationship thing for sure. I wouldn't even call this a relationship, but we've been talking long enough. Like, whatever. When it ended, I was distraught, did horrible things. And here I was trying to just like move on and mend from it, whatever. And he's over here like, please, Menashe, like, let's meet up. Like, I just want to talk to you. I just want to da 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 da. And me being weak and not like standing on my 2 feet and standing on business, I was just like, because I knew it was done. Like, I knew this wasn't good for me. The real tea is I had known for a while it wasn't good for me, but you know, I was just like caught up. Truly, honestly, like I can admit my shortcomings. I can admit my wrongs. I was caught up. Your girl knew she should have dipped from this. Okay, this was not serving me in any way. But then when I actually was hurt and I knew like there was no coming back from this, I had no business trying to meet up with this man. But here he is trying to like say, ooh, like, let's just whatever, the closure talk. So here I am getting ready for this, talking to my friends, talking about, guys, I'm going to go get the closure. Huh? Like, what are you even talking about? So here I go. We decided to meet at coffee shop. I'm not even gonna say coffee shop. I'm pretty sure it was a Starbucks. Like, I'm not gonna make it artsy. Like, it was a Starbucks. So we pull up to a Starbucks. I'm pretty sure this is like a while ago, right? So I really am hazy on some of the details. It's also so crazy that we even went to Starbucks. I don't even drink coffee, so it's like I don't even know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love myself a little frappuccino, but like I'm not like a real coffee girly to like be trying to have coffee. But it doesn't even matter. It was a moot point because honestly we could have gone anywhere. I wasn't gonna eat. Like I literally didn't even have an appetite at the time, so it didn't really matter. But I'm just saying, like, it was just dumb. So I was like, okay, yeah, like, let's meet up. Sorry guys, I'm like still getting over the sickness. Anyway, so I pull up. I have to sidebar, y'all. I pull up and I'm in my car, and I think I like maybe messaged him like I'm here or something, and he was like, I'm 3 minutes out, whatever, 5 minutes away. He pulls up next to me. Let me tell y'all something. I have never gotten the biggest ick than when I looked to my right, and he was sitting in the passenger seat with his little, what is the thing called, the mirror down, smacking his lip with chapstick, like. Oh my gosh. I like vividly remember this, although I'm hazy on some of the stuff because, mind you, no one was using the word ick at the time, so I wouldn't even have known what to call it then. I was just so disgusted, and I was just like, this can't be it. Like this, it literally cannot get much worse than this. And this isn't anything against chapstick. Like, people that know me know that I am an advocate for chapstick. I'm an advocate for chapped lips. Like, or no, not having chapped lips. Like, moisturize your lips. Like, I want that. I think it's a crime to have chapped lips. Truly, honestly, like, pick anything you want. Like, there's Vaseline, there's Aquaphor. Like, I go on this rant quite often. But my point is, I'm looking at this man who's done me so dirty, who I'm meeting up for closure, and I look, and he's looking in the mirror, smacking his lips with chapstick. Like, it was the lowest of lows. I can't. Like, you either get it or you don't. But whatever. For some reason, you know what? I should have been back. Beep, beep. I didn't even back up. That was my moment to reverse. Honestly, that was the last sign that God could have truly given me in that moment, that you have no business being here. But like, I got out of the car like an idiot. Anyway, whatever. I get out of the car. We're here now. We're here. I'm sitting at this table. He's jibber jabbering about Lord knows what. It's not really important. The whole point of all of this is that didn't help. It wasn't helpful at all because I already knew what he had done had hurt me. So him trying to explain it and give his apologies and whatever, like, it just wasn't gonna cut it. Like, it wasn't gonna cut it. It wasn't good enough. It didn't do any good. And again, it ended up like restarting the cycle, this negative cycle that I shouldn't have been in. And that's another reason that I'm not for closure for people that are like horrible, because it's like, instead of cutting it the way you're supposed to and actually letting it go and moving on with your life, you're like trying to just like hang around someone because you still care about them. And then it kind of, if you're in a weak position, like I was at the time, get you stuck back in that cycle. Like, maybe I can give them another chance. Maybe you shouldn't, dumbass. Like, I'm sorry. I'm glad I'm not the girl that I was. Not that I was this weakling, don't get me wrong. But I feel for her sometimes, because it's just like, and this even with friendships and stuff, like sometimes I look back and I'm just like, I was putting up way too much, but that's because I just was giving everyone a chance. Like, no, like that's not, you should not do that. Not everyone deserves that. And I stand on that to this day. Not everybody deserves second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances. Like these are people who you consider close friends, whatever the relationship is. And like, they should be treating you with respect, like basic things. Like, and if they can't do that, there's nowhere to go from here. So sorry. Also, no one ever talks about what happens when the closure doesn't give what it's supposed to give. So let's pretend now you're in the situation where you've decided to give this person the opportunity to explain themselves so that you can move on and you can have closure. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like 9 out of 10 times you're listening to their story and it's just like, you're just sad. Like you just feel sad and you're not happy and nothing they're saying is actually adding any value. And it's never giving what it's supposed to give, which is another reason I'm not for it, because they're probably not going to be able to say anything that can really change or take away what they've done. So that's why you just shouldn't put yourself in that situation in the first place, honestly. And if we want to get real, like if we really want to get real, the disrespect was the closure. Like the moment they disrespected you in whatever the capacity was, like that was the closure. There's no coming back from that. So it's like, if you need your closure so badly, it's not what they say after the fact that's the closure so you can move on. The closure is actually when they do the thing that you just can't come back from. And honestly, again, like these are people that were supposed to care about you and love you. I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm talking about people that were supposed to have your back for real. Best friends, relationships, whatever, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about the whole thing. So these are people that are close to you that I'm referring to. So like the disrespect was the closure. And I think about it that way too. It's like, although I might miss them and stuff and like whatever, if I can't get over what they did, the disrespect, then that's the closure I need. And that's the closure you need too. No reason to rehash. You're not their mom. Okay. You don't have to like baby them into whatever. No, what they did was enough. Let's move on. At the end of the day, you have 2 options, truly. You can either something happens and you can work on it, actively work on it, or let it go. But there's no in between. There's no like, maybe what they did, it hurt you and you're willing to tell them like, because obviously like context is important, like dynamics are important. I'm not saying it's a one and done, you cut them off. Well, some things it is, but it just depends on the situation. Like maybe someone did something to hurt your feelings or whatever, and you want to let them know like, don't do that again. Like, I don't like that, like whatever. That's actively working on something or whatever, because you care about this person. But also at the end of the day, it gets to a point too where it's just like, I can't work on this anymore. I have to cut it off. So you're either actively working on it or you're moving on, but there's no in between. Like the closure was the disrespect, or you understand that like, okay, I didn't love this, but we can work on it. That's how I view things too. Because sometimes, it's not always black and white. It's not always easy to cut off people. And let me just say that when you do cut off people, because they were disrespectful to you or like whatever, it can be really, really hard to get over. I'm not negating that at all. That's the reason I was sitting at that freaking Starbucks, because it was like I was in a lot of pain and I was in a lot of hurt. And so, even though I knew I shouldn't be there, I still cared about the person and showed up. But you have to work through it. And the way I see you truly, truly getting your closure is by cutting it off and letting go and working through those emotions, because it will be hard. You'll want to maybe, reach out or whatever, but you don't get through it. You don't get to the other side without going through it. And so you have to go through those emotions and everything and work through it. And then you get to the other side and you realize like you're okay, and that other people will come into your life that will respect you and love you and treat you the way that you're meant to be treated. So true closure comes by cutting it off, letting it go, working through it, getting to the other side. So that's it on that. But I'm here to tell you, if you need to hear today, closure is a scam. You don't need it. You need to cut it off, let it go, appreciate it for what it is, learn the lesson you need to learn in it so you don't have to repeat it, and get through it. And you will get through it, and you will be okay. Okay? I try to find lessons in the things I go through, even if I was dumb and shouldn't have been in it in the first place. There's still a lesson in there. And also people make mistakes, and hopefully the next time, they won't make the same mistakes. But at the end of the day, you don't need closure. And I stand on that. I stand on that. So that's my little spiel for today. Closure is a scam and you don't need it. So please don't be like me at a restaurant talking about I'm going to dinner to get closure. No, babe, you're just going to dinner because you wanted to go to dinner with him. Don't do that. Don't be an idiot. Be strong. Stand on business. You're better off for it. And you're able to move on quicker when you actually cut it off. Instead of like going in circles and like giving it space, coming back, giving it space, coming back. Like it just becomes toxic. Don't let it become toxic. You know when you need to cut it off. Follow your instincts. Do what you need to do. Stand on business and move on. So anyway, that's my thing on that. I hope you guys are having an amazing week, guys. I'm so, so happy it's October. I'm wishing all of us an amazing, amazing October. Please, we need to, the end of this year in general is always, but I feel like I say that every year, right? Like every year is always like, what was this, you know? But there's just something about this year that's just feeling like really like crazy. But also it's so exciting because the holidays are coming up soon and you know I love the holidays. So yeah, I'm wishing you guys an amazing first week of October. Yeah. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Let's get real.